Welcome to the Life Coach Lounge. I'm Angela.
I'm Lisa.
I'm Emily. We're three life coaches who found connection in faith, friendship, and purpose.
Get ready for real talk, relatable stories, and practical tips you can actually use.
We're so happy you're here at the Life Coach Lounge.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Life Coach Lounge. And let me be the first to say happy Thanksgiving to you. We are grateful for you, and we are thankful when you share our podcast with your friends. If something we talk about today resonates with you and you're curious about going deeper, please consider a one-on-one coaching session. We love meeting our loungers in our Zoom rooms. So today, girls, we are talking turkey. We are talking all things Thanksgiving. So I thought it'd be fun to start with a little Q&A. So let me ask you, do you call it stuffing or dressing? Emily?
Stuffing. I've always heard it called stuffing. That's what we call it in our house.
And do you actually stuff it in the bird?
No. So thankfully my parents do all of the cooking for our Thanksgiving and they're amazing at it. And no, I don't believe they cook it in the turkey. It's just a side dish.
Okay.
We call it stuffing as well. And I grew up with my mother stuffing the bird, and I do not enjoy it that way. I like a crispy top on the stuffing.
Yeah, it's a different texture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we call it stuffing also. And I grew up, my grandma stuffed the bird, and that was what I knew. So I loved it. But now I do it. I did it in the oven for several years so it would get the crispy topping. But the last few years, I needed the oven space. So I did it in my crock pot. And that actually turned out really good too. So,
Tip.
yeah, we call it stuffing. So, as far as the turkey goes, do you roast it or deep fry it?
Roast.
Roast here too. Mm-hmm.
Have you ever done a deep fried?
We haven't done it, but I remember an uncle of mine deep frying a turkey. It may not have been at Thanksgiving, it may have been a Christmas gathering, and it was delicious. He had the big deep fryer that you have like out on the front driveway, and it was really good.
Yeah, or it's like a smoked. Those are really good too. Okay, so while we're sitting around on Thanksgiving Day, do we watch football or do we watch the Thanksgiving Day parade?
Since I have three young nephews, again, we go to my parents' house, and so it's our family and my brother's family, and they have three boys under the age of 14. So football, it's football all afternoon.
I think it will depend on if my son is here for Thanksgiving, who's playing.
Well, the Lions always play on Thanksgiving Day, so we are football people here in Michigan.
That makes sense.
We are typically movie watchers on Thanksgiving.
Oh, like holiday movies?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that idea. Okay, that's fun. Okay, so pie time, pumpkin or apple? Or maybe another. What's your specialty?
If it's apple, it needs to be apple crisp.
Ooh, that changes the question, Lisa. Apple crisp and apple pie, in my opinion, are way different. That changes the question altogether. If I'm going pumpkin pie or apple pie, I will do pumpkin pie every time. But apple crisp.
The crispy topping, so good. I actually have a pumpkin pie recipe that has the crispy topping on it.
Ooh.
So good.
Do share. Put that up in the Instagram.
Well, fun fact, I won a pie contest with that pie.
Ooh.
I know. Okay, so when do we put up Christmas decorations? Before Thanksgiving or after?
After.
So I used to always be after. And then 2020 happened. I think it was because you'll just get really tired of being in your house and nobody was doing anything. Just the joy of sparkly lights made me happy. So that was the first year I did it earlier. My husband, though, tends to follow the weather, especially for outdoor lights, follow the weather. And if he puts them up, though, they don't go on until after.
So I was always the day after Thanksgiving, we would go and cut down a live tree with the kids. It was a whole big thing. Loved it. One of our best traditions ever. But then when we sold our home and I became an empty nester, I got a like fake tree, pre-lit tree. And so I was like, oh, well, I'll just put it up a little early. Well, each year it's been a little earlier, a little earlier. And last year, I think we had it up the first week of November. So it was up literally for 2 months and we loved it.
Right? There's something about the lights and it's just it's so hygge. Just like really brings in a warm, welcoming.
Well, it's so much work to put up all the Christmas decorations and having more time to enjoy it. And also, there's so much more to do during December, especially if you still have kids home and baking and shopping and wrapping and all the things. It's like if you can just check the box on decorating the house and be done with that, yeah, count me in. And I always thought like, oh, it'll be weird to have Thanksgiving dinner with like all the Christmas decorations up, but it's not. It makes it like so much more magical. I love it. So I'm hooked now. Okay. Tell me about your cranberry sauce. Do you make your own or is it like the kind you shake out of the can and it like looks like a can?
Who cannot hear that sound? Everyone's hearing that sound right now when you open the can and it goes. If I am going to eat it, which is, I could definitely leave it. If it's on the table though and it's homemade with orange zest in it or any kind of orange rind or something, then that's a yes for me. Otherwise, I'll skip it.
Yeah, we didn't really grow up with having that as always part of the Thanksgiving meal. I don't remember either fresh or canned. I actually don't mind the canned. I like the taste of cranberry, and I don't mind. My dad does make this cranberry relish, but I don't know that he follows a recipe. So every year is just a little bit different. So there are chopped cranberries, there could be walnuts in there, there could be celery in there, there's oranges, you just not quite sure. So I might try that from year to year and be surprised to see what the different flavors are. But he loves it and gets excited about it. So that's kind of a fun addition to our traditional meal.
Yeah. I always make my own cranberry relish. So I don't make a relish. I make more of like a sauce or like a compo almost. But my grandma has a recipe for a relish. So it's fresh, it's not cooked, and it's so good. And yes, it has fresh orange in it. So I can give you that recipe too. How do we feel about green bean casserole? Do we pass that or do we see at my house we have to have corn, like frozen corn from a bag, put butter and salt on it. And it's like the mashed potatoes with gravy with a little bit of corn. It says Thanksgiving to my kids. But I know some people are big on the green bean casserole. How about you girls?
That's how it is at our house too. Corn. I mean, green bean casserole is something we had at larger family gatherings when I was younger, but I don't remember my parents ever making it. I I could pass it. It's not my favorite thing. How about you, Lisa?
We definitely had green bean casserole growing up. And I don't mind it, but I don't make it. Like I do actually have green beans a lot at Thanksgiving dinner, but it's usually they're just steamed green beans, and then maybe I'll add garlic butter to it or slivered like almonds on top or Parmesan cheese or something to like kind of jazz them up a little bit. But I do not have big casserole eaters in my house.
So, like the cream of mushroom soup thing is not your family vibe.
Nope, not at all.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, sweet potatoes or mashed potatoes, or what kind of potatoes are we doing for Thanksgiving?
Some years we do both, but because I like sweet potatoes, I think anyone who ever comes to my house and actually watches, my husband makes the mashed potatoes. And if you were to watch how many potatoes he actually peels for the mashed potatoes, you would think, who is coming to dinner? Like, why do you need this many? But without a doubt, that is my kids' top thing to put on their plate and have leftovers of is the mashed potatoes.
Yes, we're big mashed potato people here as well. I never tasted a sweet potato, fresh or canned. You can get them canned, right? Like, is that a thing?
You
Yeah.
can have them
Fresh
canned.
or canned until like recent years. And now my family, we like roast them in the oven with if we have chicken or roast beef or something like that. That was never a tradition for us. Sweet potatoes never were something that we made growing up. I will throw this in here though. You were talking about the massive amount of potatoes that Brian makes for your holidays. And in Andrew's family, they have like a Czechoslovakian background. And so his grandma would make dumplings at Thanksgiving, but they were potato dumplings. So you want to talk about a massive amount of potatoes,
Hmm.
potatoes for days. So it's potatoes, eggs, and flour, and then you boil them. So there's just these super dense balls of potato dough, and everybody in that family loved them. She would make so many dumplings every Thanksgiving. So that was a new to me food when I first entered their family. And so that's been something fun for us to make. We make them more at Christmas time now, but every Thanksgiving, his grandma would make bowls and bowls and bowls of potato dumplings. Have you either of you had a potato dumpling?
Is that like a what do you call it? A gnocchi? A
Yeah,
gnocchi?
that's what I was going to say, like
Yeah, that's what
gnocchi.
I call that. Yeah, a
Well, they
gnocchi.
are like, I mean, it looks like a mini biscuit. Like they're big. They're like a small fist size. Like, and you boil them and then you can cut them in half and put gravy over them. Yeah, it was something brand new to me. But you're right, that would be sort of the same ingredients.
That's so fun. So now that everyone listening is really hungry, I was thinking when I was writing the questions that all three of us live in the northern part of the United States. And so I thought, okay, we're Yankees. What is going on south of, the southern United States here? So I went to the Googles and found out that they have some different things on their Thanksgiving menu than we have. So, fried turkey is much bigger down there in the South than it is here. And ham, very common in the South to have on the Thanksgiving table. Cornbread dressing, they call it dressing, not stuffing. And it's almost always made with cornbread, not white bread. And I will say that my stuffing, I call it stuffing too, but I do put a little bit of cornbread. It's probably a third cornbread and two-thirds white bread. And then oyster dressing. Have you guys heard of this?
Hmm? Yes.
Have you
No.
ever had it? Because it kind of makes me gag to think about a little bit.
I mean, I was not in at oysters. It doesn't matter if it's dressing or not. I don't like oysters, but tell me more about this oyster dressing.
I mean, there's no recipe on my search here, but In low country areas and along the Gulf Coast, it says they put oysters in the dressing.
Hmm. Who knew?
Yeah. Side dishes, mac and cheese. And we have never put mac and cheese on our Thanksgiving table until the last few years. My daughter's boyfriend loves homemade mac and cheese. So she brings a pan of homemade mac and cheese for Thanksgiving now. So it's a new tradition for us. Sweet potato casserole with like sticky sweet marshmallows, pecans, all the things on top. Greens, like collard greens, turnip greens, mustard greens, which personally I love collard greens, probably because I love bacon. I think all the collard greens I usually had to have bacon and hot sauce, and I just like all that stuff, I think. Here's a good one, you guys, rice and gravy.
Hmm.
So we have mashed potatoes and gravy. Apparently, they have rice and gravy in the South. And then they make their gravy out of giblets. So they use the giblets from the turkey, the liver, the heart, and the gizzard to make the
That's how
gravy.
I was taught to make the gravy.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Impressive.
Black eyed peas. Sometimes if you go to like a buffet in the South, they'll have black eyed peas on the buffet. Cornbread instead of dinner rolls, biscuits, of course. Something called angel biscuits came up on my search, which says it's a kind of a cross between a roll and a biscuit. I had not heard of angel biscuits. Pecan pie, of course, Southern tradition pecan pie, and sweet potato pie. Have you guys ever had sweet potato pie? So I only had it one time, but I thought it was pumpkin pie. And then I put it in my mouth and it was definitely not pumpkin pie. So I kind of had like a reflex, like this isn't right. And I never went back. I never like revisited it knowing what it was. I just kind of was like, hard stop. No, this doesn't this doesn't seem right to me. Let's see what else here. Coconut cake, chess pie, which I've heard of before and never had. Buttermilk pie, and hummingbird cake. You guys heard of hummingbird cake? Banana and pineapple cake with cream cheese frosting. Apparently, this is a Thanksgiving thing. So, anyone listening who is from the South, please let us know what's on your Thanksgiving tradition table. So, just want to say that, just want to touch on this. I mean, Thanksgiving, we're having, we're talking about all the fun food and things, and we're going to talk about some of our memories of Thanksgiving. But I just want to say that I know that Thanksgiving can be hard for some people. It isn't always joyful. Sometimes the memories aren't as joyful. Sometimes the holidays are hard in general or for a season, especially if you've lost a loved one or you're walking through a family conflict, or, I mean, some years we just don't have the energy for it and we're just not feeling it. So we just want to say we see you. And as life coaches and women of faith, it's okay. It's okay to be there. Don't make yourself wrong for having an off year. Gratitude isn't about pretending that everything's okay or that everything is perfect. It's about pausing and noticing God's goodness, even when you're in the messy middle. So we just want to remind you of these scripture verses if you're struggling through the holiday season. 1 Thessalonians 5:18 says to give thanks in all circumstances. It doesn't say for all, it says in all. So even when you're going through something hard, there is always something to be thankful for. Psalm 100, verse 4, enter his gates with thanksgiving. So we can be thankful even for fresh air or for a warm home, or you can find something. So, what is your Thanksgiving memories, girls? Like, did you go to your grandma's house? Like, what were your childhood Thanksgiving traditions? Emily?
So growing up, so it was my mom and dad, and I had two brothers. And Thanksgiving was just a quiet day at home. Normally for us, we would do the traditional meal with the Thanksgiving turkey and the mashed potatoes. I do remember when you were asking about the Thanksgiving parade or football, I do remember my parents would have on, was it like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade? So that would be on, and occasionally from year to year, depending on if it worked, either my grandma and my aunt who lived with her would come out in the afternoon. We lived on the farm, or my other set of grandparents would come to visit. My parents both come from very, very large families. And so the big family gatherings were normally at Christmas time and possibly Easter time. So Thanksgiving was just a time for the five of us to be home and maybe have another family member stop by. But I don't remember specific traditions other than it was just, time off of school. And my mom was also a teacher, so she had time off of school. So it was an extra long weekend. And yeah, nothing struck me as super memorable, but also I see that as I had a really great childhood of just, it was normal. It was family. It was, yeah, it was really beautiful.
That's so sweet. I love that. Lisa, what are your childhood memories of Thanksgiving?
Well, my parents were divorced, so my major holidays were split. So sometimes I would spend those holidays with my mom, and sometimes I would spend them at my father's. And so the beauty in that, though, because both of my parents were remarried, like my family tree was huge. So it didn't really matter to me so much which parent I was spending the holidays with, because there was something to look forward to no matter where I was spending that holiday. And each of them, like as you were listing off things like Southerners, I was thinking like some of the things that you were bringing up, I'm like, I think that was like when I would go to my father's, and then my bonus moms, like, did they like get some of those recipes from Southern people? Because some of those things, that is where I experienced that, not so much from my mother's side of the family. So yeah, mine looked a little different every year, but like I said, I don't have any memory of feeling like, oh, I'll miss out if I go one way or the other. So I was blessed in that sense.
Yeah, that's awesome. For me, when I was young, we went to my grandpa and grandma's, and everybody, brought food. I have a big extended family. And so there was a lot of food. Grandma and grandpa did not live in a big house, but it didn't matter. Everybody just crammed in. I had tons of cousins, so everybody was there. I just remember it was so happy. And it always felt like the kickoff to the holiday season, which was so exciting. And the smells, like to this day, that is one of my most nostalgic Thanksgiving memories is the smell of Thanksgiving, that turkey roasting. I mean, it just smells so incredible. My husband is lobbying for no turkey this year. And I'm like, what about the smells? Because that is Thanksgiving, is the smells. So yeah, you can go eat your prime rib somewhere else because we're having the smells here. Oh, yeah. That's a conversation for another episode, maybe the marriage episode. Okay. Anyways, going on. I will say this, though. I think there was a little family rumor about what grandma and grandpa did or didn't do while they were stuffing the turkey the night before Thanksgiving. So I'll just leave it there. Grandma and grandpa had a lot of kids. Well, I'll say that.
With those lot of kids, I'm just curious because when I went when I spent time with my father and my bonus mom, there was always a kids' table. Was there a kids' table? Do you
Oh,
guys have a kids' table at those larger gatherings
I
where
think
there
that
were?
some we did, yeah.
Yeah,
And then you reach that age where you don't wanna sit at the kids' table
exactly.
anymore. Yeah,
Yeah, like how do we graduate out of the kids' table?
yeah.
Although then sometimes there are times of being at the adult table where I'm like, how do I get back to the kids' table?
I know.
Right? It's so
Yeah,
real.
exactly. I don't wanna talk about this. Yeah. That's so funny. Okay, so, now that, you know, in this day and age when we have and some of us have an empty nest, some of us we all have grown children. Do you guys host Thanksgiving? Emily, you said you still go to your mom and dad's?
We still go to my mom and dad's. I am so spoiled and I'm so thankful. And I know my mom listens. So thank you, mom. Like they host us. They live just down the road. I mean, it takes us 10, 15 minutes to get to their house. I'm just super thankful. And my brother and his wife and their three boys come. My other brother lives in Colorado, so they don't always make it home for Thanksgiving. Um, but they do all of the cooking. It just smells like you said, I mean, I might bring a salad, but otherwise they do all of the cooking. I am so spoiled and I absolutely love it. We can just show up and enjoy like all the yummy food. So, yeah, I just feel so blessed.
Do they send you home with leftovers at least? Because that's one of the best parts of hosting is you get the leftovers.
Occasionally, but I don't ask because again, I feel so like blessed if they do it all. I'm not going to be like, "Hey, can I take some of that turkey with me that you slaved over like and served to us?" So, occasionally, but normally actually we get pumpkin pie. We do get leftover pumpkin pie, and my mom makes pumpkin pie from scratch, like the crust from scratch. She like cooks the pumpkin down to make her own pumpkin filling. It is hands down the best pumpkin pie, and she serves it warm. Oh, it's so good. So she does send home pumpkin pie with us, and it's such a treat.
Good. Lisa, I remember last year in the Marcos, you were showing us some of your Thanksgiving prep. So you do host, don't you?
I do host typically just my family though. And because it's usually just a handful of us, we will often invite other people that we know might not have someplace to go on Thanksgiving. But because it's just us, I have actually opened up the tradition to be a little more like your husband. I'm like, what do you want? Like, what do you want for Thanksgiving? Same with Christmas, honestly. Like, if you want turkey, great. But if not, typically what has happened is for Thanksgiving, it has stayed pretty traditional. And then Christmas, they will be like, yeah, we're not having a ham, we're not having turkey, we're not like we're gonna branch out. But when you said the macaroni and cheese, that has definitely been something that has shown up.
You do it fancy too, don't you?
Yeah, I'm happy to.
Yeah, you do fancy mac. Like you
Yeah,
put lobster in it?
we did do lobster mac and cheese last
Yeah.
year. Yes.
Yeah, we're coming to your house this year.
Yeah. One of the traditions my mother in law taught me is, and I think I showed both of you this in the Marcos last year as well, is so we purchase breakfast sausage, uncooked breakfast sausage, and then we take toothpicks and I call it perming the turkey. So then we take the links of the breakfast sausage and the toothpicks and we line the turkey with the links of the breakfast sausage, and it goes in as it's roasting. And then those links are typically done a little over an hour before the turkey is. So you have like this built in little fun thing to look forward to eat the little turkey links off of this turkey. But it's like a great way to baste your turkey because the juices from the sausage just drain down over the turkey.
I had never seen that before. I remember you showing that to us last year.
Delicious.
That is such a that is yeah, that's kind of like a life hack.
I remember the very first time I went to Brian's house for a Thanksgiving meal, I was like, "What in the what are they doing? What is that? Who puts breakfast sausage on their turkey?" Only to eat said breakfast sausage when it was cooked. And I'm like, "Oh, this is brilliant. Brilliant."
It's like a perfect built-in appetizer. As you're smelling all of the smells and you're getting so hungry, you're like, here, just have some sausage. Like perfect timing and everything. Oh,
And it like signals like the year after year, if you're used to that, it's like signaling to you like it's almost ready, like it's almost time.
I
Yeah,
love it.
love it.
I love that. I might actually steal that idea. That is so fun. So, how are we showing gratitude on Thanksgiving? Do you guys go to church? Do you do a devotional? Do you say a special prayer? I remember one year I had read, I wish I had saved this, but I had read a pilgrim story. It was something about the first, the pilgrims' Thanksgiving, and it talked about five pieces of corn. Have you guys ever heard that? It's like a poem or something, and they put five little kernels of corn on their plate to remember the year before when they were starving and they didn't have food. And then there was like a poem slash devotional that went along with it. So I did that one year when our kids were little. I put five little pieces of corn on everybody's plate, and then we read the little devotional thing, but I didn't save it. Like I was like, "Oh, this is our new tradition. This is really special." And then I didn't save it and we never did it again. But I would love to have a copy of that, that if I ever come across it, I'll let you know. But what do you guys do?
I love that. I'm writing that down. I'm going to look that up. That sounds like such a fun tradition.
Yeah, it was the one year that we did it.
The one year that you did it. I guess that doesn't really make it a tradition, does it?
Yeah.
It's just a one and done. We do go around the table and just say something that we're thankful for, which is really cute, especially when the boys were little, my nephews, or when my girls were younger. Just take that extra moment and say one thing you're thankful for.
Yeah, that's so nice. Lisa, do you have any traditions?
I have made gratitude practice for me. So I haven't really made it like I haven't made it family oriented, but what I've done the last few years and even posted it and shared it on like my Facebook page is I have started a daily gratitude leading up to Thanksgiving. So that daily practice is just a great way to set the stage for when Thanksgiving comes and then moving into December.
That is so nice. You are good with your gratitude journals. I will give you that, girl. Okay, in the afternoon, do you guys like pass out? What do you call like the turkey coma? Is it like the tryptophan amino acid or something that makes you so tired?
Yep, the
So
tryptophan.
in our family, usually the guys like pass out in front of football, and the girls, of course, are in the kitchen cleaning up and chatting. So for years and years, the Grand Rapids Press, our local newspaper, whether you subscribed to the paper or not, would give everybody a copy of the Thanksgiving edition of the Grand Rapids Press. And it was like this big because it had all the Black Friday ads in it. So we would get that newspaper. And then after the whole dinner mess was cleaned up and we had the pies out. Some people were having a slice of pie or whatever. We would take the entire dining room table and lay out all the newspapers, and the kids would circle stuff that they wanted for Christmas. And we would kind of map out our Black Friday, who had the best deals and where we were going to go. And it was so fun. Like, I totally miss that. Like, they keep bumping, like, is Black Friday even a thing anymore? Like, I feel like it's like the whole month. Like, they're just pushing sales all the time now. But back in the day when it was Black Friday only, and they would like open the stores at 8 a.m. and people were lined up outside. And I mean, it was fun back then. But anyways, that was one of my memories of Thanksgiving afternoon with football on and the guys snoring in the other room. But you guys have any afternoon traditions?
There's definitely a food coma in my house after
Yeah.
for sure. There's just a continuation of whatever movies we've been watching, which are typically ones you've seen before. So you can just drift off to sleep, take a little nap.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Black Friday ads are definitely something that we look at as well. My sister-in-law and my mom and I will have the little pile and be like, "Did you look at this one yet? Nope, these aren't the ones I looked at. These are the ones I haven't." You know, you're just kind of, they're floating around, like you said, the dining room table. Football is definitely still on, and all the guys are either watching or napping or both in between. One thing we like to do recently, like if those of us that don't really get into the football, but we still have energy, we will pull out like a board game. And so we'll have a board game going at the dining room table and still have the game on in the next room. And then when we get home, we usually kind of leave late afternoon, early evening. We love every year just the four of us. Well, now it's just the three of us because my girl got married. We love to watch the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special. I don't know if you guys have ever watched that
Yes.
one, but it's the story of the Pilgrims, and it's actually quite historically accurate. So it's entertaining and just a remembrance also of that first Thanksgiving. And then there is another one we like to watch. We don't watch it every year, but Kirk Cameron did a movie called Monumental. This was years ago, and he really dives into the history also of what the Pilgrims went through, why they left, what the ship conditions were like, what the conditions were like when they got here, just really the why behind the reason that we celebrate. So I like to watch that one just to focus on the reason for the day.
That sounds really good. I would love to watch that. So, okay, finish the sentence. It wouldn't be Thanksgiving without
Sausage on the turkey.
the sausage appetizer.
Oh, I love it. It wouldn't be Thanksgiving without my mom's pumpkin pie, honestly.
Mm,
That would be for me. And also for us, it wouldn't be Thanksgiving without thinking about our girl, our firstborn. I was in labor with her all day Thanksgiving Day in 2003. I woke up early in the morning and I knew they were contractions, and it went all day, progressed all day. But we didn't eat Thanksgiving dinner that day because obviously I was in labor. We didn't go to the hospital until like 7:30 in the evening, and then she was born early that next morning. But because it was Thanksgiving, we couldn't even go like to the mall and walk around. Like I needed to keep walking. And I remember that year was really cold here in Minnesota, and we went outside to try and walk around the block, and it was so cold, and the sidewalks were so icy that year that it was super dangerous. So the only place open was Walmart. So here I am in labor, wanting to get things going, well enough to go to Walmart and push a cart around, but not ready enough to go to the hospital. So Andrew and I spent one Thanksgiving afternoon at Walmart with me in labor. So we always have to reminisce about that every Thanksgiving. It's a fun fun story to retell and think about.
Does your daughter like Walmart? Is she a Walmart shopper?
She's not. None of us really are. I mean, if you can't find something and you're desperate and have to go to Walmart, yes, we will go. But no, that experience did not make her a Walmart fan.
So I was going to say it wouldn't be Thanksgiving without the smells, but the truth is, if I had the smells and I didn't have my family with me, it wouldn't be Thanksgiving. So it definitely is family for me. Okay, girls. What are you thankful for this year, 2025? What are we thankful for? I would say, I know it's going to sound really cheesy, but I'm thankful for your friendship. I am so grateful for you girls. I'm thankful for the support we give each other and the laughs and the podcast, all the things. I am very thankful.
That was going to be my answer too, Angela. That was the first thing I thought of. And it's really full circle because last November is when the three of us met in person, just the three of us. And that's really where this friendship started and the idea for the podcast. So it's super, super fun to think about a year ago where we were and where we are now and just how close we've all become in a year. Super thankful.
And I'm just gonna jump on that train and say that in addition to the friendship, it's not just about like the friendship, but there's like built in accountability. There's a built-in like unconditional, like your emotional support group. Do you know what I mean? Like we just fall right into a Marco or a text or something like that to support each other. And then at the same time, though, can really be able to pull up the growth that another one of us has had that we can't see because we're in our head or too close to it or something like that. But when we're doing something, whether it's the podcast or something else personal in our lives, and sharing that with each other, and then maybe we squirrel out and do something else, we have each other to be like, can I just remind you about how far you've come in fill in the blank? And so that has definitely been a huge blessing for me.
Yeah.
It's like a sisterhood. I don't have sisters. You guys are like my sisters.
Yay. I love it. Oh, you girls are so sweet. So, to our listeners, gratitude is more than a feeling, it's a spiritual discipline. It anchors us in what is true and reminds us who our provider really is. So, some ways to keep this practice going. Lisa, you've shared a little bit with us about what you do to practice gratitude, but journaling, you can try writing 3 things you're grateful for each day and try to write different things every day. Start noticing new things and be specific. I'm thankful for warm coffee, hot coffee. Be specific. I'm thankful for my blankets and my bed and cotton sheets. Like get specific about things you're really grateful for. You can write a gratitude letter to God. I love this idea, like actually writing out a gratitude letter to God. You can go on a thankfulness walk or a Thanksgiving walk and just tell God what you're thankful for while you're walking. Make it a prayer walk. Here's a journal prompt that you can use. What do I take for granted that I can actually thank God for today? We've all had those moments where we try to go somewhere, put the key in the car, and it doesn't start. Well, aren't we thankful on the days that the car starts and we take it for granted? Or we flip the light switch on every single day, and then the day comes when we flip the light switch and the power is out. Oh my goodness. It's just something we take for granted every day that when we don't have it, we realize how important it is to us. So think about those things that you do take for granted. You have shoes to put on every time you leave the house, or boots if you live in the north like we do. So think about those things that you don't always think about every day and you take for granted. Okay, listeners, we just hope and pray that you have the best Thanksgiving this year. And let us know your secret recipes. Share those with us, please. And your Thanksgiving traditions. If you live in the South, you have to confirm any of the things that Google told me that you maybe have on your Thanksgiving table. Please share recipes. Let us know. So until next time, we're so grateful and thankful that to walk alongside you, to be your coaches, and to encourage you one step at a time. We look forward to seeing you next week in the lounge. And Lisa and Emily, I'll see you later in the Marcos. Happy Thanksgiving.